Cambridge 18 Speaking Test Part 1. Topic: Paying bills. What types of bills do you usually need pay? The list of bills I need to pay seems to be endless. I have the utilities, including electricity, water, and gas. Let's not forget the internet and cable TV. Then, there's the regular grocery shopping, food, other odds and ends. Do you prefer paying your bills with cash or another method? Well, I'm a big fan of online payment systems, you know. It's like having the bank right at your fingertips. Gone are the days when we had to queue in long lines to settle our bills. Now, with a few taps and clicks, everything's sorted. Plus, there's the added bonus of being able to track your spending. Have you ever missed paying a bill payment? Well, I think everyone's been in that boat at some point. I mean, let's be honest, life can get hectic and sometimes things slip through the cracks. I remember this one time when I was busier than a bee during the peak of summer. With so many balls in the air, I totally missed paying my internet bill. You can probably imagine the shock when my internet went dead in the middle of a very important virtual meeting. Talk about a wake-up call. It was like a bolt from the blue. Since then, I've made sure to keep my ducks in a row when it comes to bills. Trust me, it's not a mistake I plan on repeating. Can you think of anything that might reduce your regular bills? Well, there's no magic wand to wave, but every little helps. I could turn over a new leaf and become more conscious about my consumption habits. For example, switching off lights when leaving a room or unplugging devices when they're not in use might seem like small things but can add up to significant savings over time. It's like killing two birds with one stone. You save money and do your bit for the environment. Additionally, shopping around for the best deals and not being afraid to switch providers can also help. A penny saved is a penny earned. But I would need to change some of my current habits, that's for sure. Cambridge 18 Speaking Test Part 2. Describe a food or drink you like to prepare. You should say what the food, drink is, who taught you to prepare it, where and when you learned, and explain how the learning process made you feel. Model answer. The food I relish preparing is the classic, lip-smacking spaghetti, a dish where people meet comfort on a plate. My mentor in this culinary journey was none other than my dear grandmother. She was the queen bee of the kitchen, and her recipes were like her crown jewels. I remember the day as clear as a bell. It was during the summer holidays when I was about 15. I would spend my holidays at my grandparents' house in the countryside, a place that was as peaceful as a graveyard at midnight. One sunny afternoon, feeling as bored as a bat in the daytime, I wandered into the kitchen, and that's when my grandmother, with a twinkle in her eye, decided to teach me the art of making a perfect carbonara. Learning to cook spaghetti carbonara was a process as intricate as a spider's web. From choosing the right ingredients to getting the creamy texture just right, it wasn't a walk in the park. However, under my grandmother's guidance, the kitchen transformed into a fun, experimental lab. I remember feeling like a cat on hot bricks the first time I attempted it on my own. It was nerve-wracking, having to juggle multiple tasks at the same time, but when I saw the final product, it filled me with a sense of accomplishment as big as a mountain. From then on, every time I cook spaghetti carbonara, I remember my grandmother's words: cooking is like painting or writing a song. Just as there are only so many notes or colors, there are only so many flavors. It's how you combine them that sets you apart. And that's precisely what I try to do: paint a delicious picture with my cooking. Cooking this dish feels like dancing on air. it's a joyous process that takes me down memory lane. It's not just about making food. It's about creating a symphony of flavors that brings people together. Cambridge 18 Speaking Test 1 Part 3. Topic: Young people and cooking. Do you believe that cooking skills are important for young people to learn? Absolutely. I believe cooking skills are as essential for young people as any other life skill. I mean, let's face it, we all need to eat, right? And being able to whip up a meal from scratch, that's not just nutritious but also appetizing, is like having an ace up your sleeve. It's not just about keeping the wolf from the door, but also about taking the reins of your health and nutrition. Plus, it's a fantastic way to let your creative juices flow and even unwind after a long day. So, in a nutshell, I'm all for young people turning up the heat in the kitchen and cooking up a storm. Are there any benefits a person can gain from learning how to cook at an early age? Most certainly. Learning how to cook at an early age can reap a multitude of benefits. For starters, it's like sowing a seed that will eventually bear the fruit of self-sufficiency and independence. Besides being a great survival skill, it's also a fun and creative outlet. It can be as satisfying as solving a jigsaw puzzle when a recipe comes together perfectly. Not to mention, it's a handy skill that can impress friends and family. It's like having an extra feather in your cap. Lastly, understanding the effort and time it takes to prepare a meal can foster a greater appreciation for food and reduce wastage. It's a win-win situation all around if you ask me. In your opinion, how does the popularity of fast food impact the cooking habits of the younger generation? The fast food culture has certainly tipped the scales in the cooking habits of the younger generation, and unfortunately, it's not tipping in favor of home-cooked meals. Fast food, being as quick as a bunny and as easy as pie, often becomes the go-to option for many youngsters. It's like a moth to a flame. The allure of convenience is hard to resist. This trend, as slippery as an eel, can lead to a lack of interest and skill in cooking and fosters a dependency on processed and ready-made food. Moreover, fast food culture tends to promote unhealthy eating habits. It's high time we put on our thinking caps to promote the joy and benefits of cooking among the younger generation, ensuring they don't miss the boat on this essential life skill. What measures can be taken to encourage young people to cook more and rely less on pre-packaged or fast food? Several strategies could be employed to enthuse young people to don aprons and whip up meals in their kitchens. For starters, cooking can be introduced as a part of the school curriculum, not as a hard nut to crack, but as a fun and interactive subject. Hands-on cooking classes can be as exciting as a kid in a candy store, fostering creativity and teaching essential nutritional knowledge. Additionally, we can leverage the power of technology, which youngsters are as keen on as mustard. Online platforms can host easy-to-follow, appetizing recipes or cooking challenges that could catch on, go viral, and make cooking look as cool as a cucumber. Plus, parents play a pivotal role, and they can pass the baton by involving their children in meal preparation. Making it a family activity can change the perception that cooking is a chore. It's not rocket science, after all. In a nutshell, creating an environment that makes cooking feel as easy as pie and as rewarding as finding a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, can encourage young people to cook more and rely less on pre-packaged or fast food. Topic: Working as a chef. What are the benefits and drawbacks of working as a chef? Working as a chef can be exciting. On the plus side, you have the opportunity to put your creativity on a plate. It's like painting but with flavors instead of colors. It's also as rewarding as finding a diamond in the rough when you see people relishing the dishes you've cooked. However, it's not all a bed of roses. The job can be demanding, with long hours that can take a toll on your work-life balance. It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place, where you love your job, but it also demands a lion's share of your time. All in all, it's a job that's as challenging as it is rewarding. What do you think are the top skills and qualities one needs to be a successful chef? To be a successful chef, you certainly need to be as sharp as a tack. First and foremost, you need to have a passion for food, as strong as an ox. This isn't a job where you can just go through the motions. It's about putting your heart and soul on the plate. Secondly, creativity is key. A good chef is like a magician, creating culinary masterpieces out of ordinary ingredients. Moreover, you need to have the patience of a son, since cooking is a delicate art that can't be rushed. Aside from that, good communication and leadership skills are crucial, as the kitchen can be as busy as a beehive. Lastly, being able to handle pressure is important, because when the heat is on in the kitchen, you need to keep as cool as a cucumber. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing aspiring chefs in today's market? Aspiring chefs in today's market face challenges as tough as old boots. One of the biggest hurdles is the dog-eat-dog nature of the culinary world. It's like being thrown into a shark tank, where only the toughest survive. With so many fish in the sea, standing out and making your mark is as hard as finding a needle in a haystack. To add salt to the wound, the long hours and high-pressure environment can make the job as tough as nails. Moreover, the rise of fast food chains and ready-made meals is also a fly in the ointment, as it changes people's eating habits and reduces the demand for gourmet dining. In a nutshell, being a chef isn't a piece of cake and requires a lot of grit, dedication, and hard work. To what extent can TV chefs influence what other people cook at home? TV chefs wield a significant influence over what people cook at home, as they bring cooking to the living room in a way that's as entertaining as a barrel of monkeys. They make cooking seem as easy as ABC, inspiring viewers to try their hand at whipping up dishes that otherwise would seem as hard as climbing Mount Everest. On top of that, they can stimulate taste buds by showcasing cuisines from all corners of the globe, making viewers as keen as mustard to experiment with new and exotic recipes. It's a piece of cake for them to influence people, given their charisma and culinary expertise. However, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and it's the successful recreation of these dishes at home that truly reflects their influence. In a nutshell, TV chefs can certainly light a fire under the cooking habits of viewers, motivating them to cook more and order in less.